Okay. Hello. I'm Bryce, the director and actor of Joker and Spider-Man in this film.
And I'm Kai Weekly. I am the visual effects artist for this film and most of the other ones that Bryce have made up to this point. And together, we're going to do a commentary over this project.
Yeah. So, if you don't know how to do this, we're actually just going to put it up on the screen for you guys, so, no struggles.
Yay, simplification. Oh, I'm also going to be full
Should
of
we
bad
count down?
jokes. Absolutely, because it sounds awesome.
Alright, are you ready?
Absolutely.
3,
Three,
2,
two,
1,
one, go.
go. And it was created by the creators of Becoming Spider-Man. The only two people who actually star in this movie.
I always did like that logo. I thought it looked awesome.
I actually made that logo myself.
Nice.
Some of the few VFX. There's a lot of great stuff in here that I feel just wasn't actually shown. Because there's actually like a lot of cool stuff in what he actually put
Yeah.
on the screen, so.
Yeah, there just wasn't enough time for it, but I was definitely proud of my work on it. I remember when I first saw it, being like, it's in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. I remember filming this scene and I remember punching Ethan in the knuckle like a couple times.
Jeez.
Just because we wanted to try to make it realistic, but and that picture Ethan's holding is actually my old yearbook picture, which I find is kind of ironic that Shield did have that.
Yeah. Well, they're a multi-million-dollar spy organization. It's the least they could have.
Yeah. I do feel like this is some of the best fighting I have done, filmed.
It's. I think it's. I could see that. It's that. It's definitely. I think one of the most engaging, mainly because we kind of don't know how it ends. With Spider-Man versus the villain, we kind of know. Oh, well, he's got to win. But with this, it's like, well, they're both heroes, so who wins? We know
Yeah.
they can't kill each other, but it's like, who's gonna win this?
Fun fact: when Ethan actually jumped down from that little shack thing, the first take he actually hit himself in the face with his knee,
Ooh,
but still ran off like a champ. It was great.
beautiful. Okay, I remember also first seeing this, and after the trailer seeing the TASM 2 suit return, which, while it's not my favorite Spider-Man suit ever made, I definitely prefer it over the TASM 1 suit. I was like excited, and then seeing the movie and seeing the TASM 1 suit back, I was like, dang it. But
Well, originally I had planned to do the TASM 2 suit, but what I wanted to do was actually destroy the suit again, and I couldn't bring myself to actually destroy that suit, so.
I wouldn't blame you. Oh god, I love this.
And I know that I feel like I've kind of did something different with the character of Terry McGinnis as Batman. I wanted to get more of like a badass side to him than. But they're two very joking characters that I feel like I could have
Yeah.
played with that a little bit more.
Yeah. I remember making this movie with you and definitely feeling there was a bit of it being rushed, but I remember but knowing kind of some of the behind the scenes elements. I get it. Like I remember like this wasn't supposed to be, your viewers may not know this, but this wasn't supposed to be his first appearance. Terry McGinnis, that is.
No. I was actually originally supposed to have him in an original film where he actually went through some pretty depressing stuff, and that's why he's just not taking this.
Mhm.
Which I felt would have developed his character a little bit more, but
Yeah. Who was supposed to be the villain in that? Because I remember we were talking. I forget his name, but it was like, was it
his name is Shriek, and it was like a villain that I don't believe anyone would ever do as like a Batman Beyond, because people would usually think of Joker, Scarecrow, things like that.
Yeah.
But I did feel like, I don't know. The only reason Joker was in this movie because I really wanted to try him out, and
Yeah, I
I feel
remember.
like I did an okay job.
Yeah.
But to be honest, wearing all that makeup and having that green hair was annoying because it was like 90 degrees out filming this stuff, and it'd like sweat around my eyes, and it wasn't good.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Here, let your weight now. We got a lot of exciting stuff to do.
I remember I actually, because me and my calculus teacher, we get along really well. And he was, at the time, he was doing a class where he had to do like computer programming and like 3D software animation. And so we kind of were both would talk about that sometimes. And with the scene coming up, I actually showed it to him. And he was a little shocked by this performance, Bryce. So, A
Really?
plus. Yeah, he was like, oh man, he's pretty good. Okay, that's one, like, okay, he's going for both legs. He's going for both legs. Okay, this guy.
There's actually a little bit I did cut out that I felt just wasn't needed, and that's why it cut so quickly to him sitting down and stuff.
I see.
To be honest, this is what I actually feel inside. I'm just kidding, but wouldn't that be crazy? And I actually did plan on when I had originally a full script for this movie, which actually really fleshed out the character of Joker. I feel
Huh.
because originally
You gonna speak up or not? Huh? You gonna speak?
it was supposed to be one fight between Batman and Peter, but then it was actually supposed to have he's actually supposed to go to Nick Fury, where he actually gets the suit we see in this fight with Joker,
Back and tried to kill me, which was the best part.
which I feel like could have been a better film,
We got
because then he was actually supposed to fight Joker like what he does now, but Spider-Man thought it was supposed to be Batman he was going to be fighting, if that made any sense to you.
I think it did.
I'm actually really kind of happy that Ethan didn't laugh as much as I thought he would doing this performance. But you do see him smile a little bit, which, you know. I feel like this is one of my favorite parts of the film.
Remember those sparks took forever to line up.
And I thank you for it.
Now, wasn't
Welcome.
that fun?
It was all worth it in the end because it looked great.
So,
Yeah.
what about this
And,
person you were fighting?
hopefully I will flesh out Joker in the Batman Beyond film I'm doing this year.
Ooh.
But, you know, he's not going to be a main character. You know,
Yeah.
it'll definitely be like a side thing.
Or would it be better if
I forgot to mention it earlier when you were when it happened, but I love the reference to the Lazarus Pit because it reminded me of the Arkham games, and I think I told you this before, but anything relating to the Arkham games I pretty much love.
Yeah, I actually. Well, originally I was trying to figure out how do I get Batman, Terry McGinnis, to fight the original Joker. And, well, I was gonna do the Tim Drake thing, but I feel like that didn't make any sense, so I figured, Batman kind of fighted when he was younger, so, this guy was definitely supposed to be older, so I figured he'd take, why not? He won. This guy wants to be young. I know he does. So he'd, go on the Lazarus thing, which is, I like what I did with that. Ethan was sitting here trying not to laugh in the scene. Oh, by the way, that is actually a Joker belt that I'm wearing. I felt like it kind of just added to the character.
Not sure how much I can help. I'm still weak from that explosion.
I really wish I focused this shot more.
To sound self-serving, I was kind of the one who recommended that scene.
You did.
Friends here. Stay.
I always loved that little slap. I don't know why. It was just so, like, douchebaggery of him.
It is. I love how I did it too, because you can actually hear it just like give like a good pat.
First of all, not my friend.
And
Let's just get into the fight.
if none of you know that is actually Ethan in the suit. So
Which you. And thus the scene that probably every one of your comments who don't like this movie have talked about.
yeah, everyone thinks that it should have just ended with Spider-Man 5, but the thing was they kept nagging me to do another thing with Spider-Man. So I'm like, all right, I'll do this because Batman Beyond probably won't be happening for a while.
We haven't talked much. We don't know
And
each
Ethan
other.
was up for it, so.
I really gotta go.
And I really like how whatever he touched, like without gloves, he actually took with him. It kind of just shows how clean and neat he is.
It is a good point. I didn't notice that detail.
Don't forget. Tell Bruce I said hello.
I love how he says that.
I like that you didn't cut to a close-up of the Joker in that shot. You just left him in the background.
Yeah. I wanted to keep it very mysterious.
Okay.
I actually did cut a hole in that shirt, if no one knows. I cut a hole in that shirt and I really liked it. It's never going to be used again because there's a hole in it.
No. No. Stay with me, please. No. No.
When Ethan did that, he actually got some wood shavings in my eye. Yeah, there were. It was a real sucker because it made me tear up.
Well, it is an emotional scene. Someone's got to have the tears.
It is a very emotional scene. There's Kai Weekly.
With my name spelt right.
Yes, I did remember to spell it right. I mean, why not?
Still here? Thank you.
I really hope people actually waited till the end to actually hear this.
Thank all of you for supporting me, the whole cast and crew of the Becoming Spider-Man series and this film. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. And you guys.
Because actually this is, I didn't say it, but
Ooh, I wonder what
That's
that could
actually
mean.
becoming some.
This is
Ooh,
Bryce
you know, it might
signing out.
start with something like
Deuces.
become something more.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, it's not like there's.
I don't know.
It's not like that's the latest thing that anyone with a brain could put together. But I mean, who knows?
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know.
that was
It's a mystery.
Batman versus Spider-Man, ladies and gentlemen.
That was. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys liked us rambling on about senseless stuff.
Should we give like some final thoughts or something?
Yes. I think you should go first.
Okay.
You're the guest.
Okay. But yeah, I guess I am. Didn't think of it that way. Just kind of to sound self-serving, and you guys have never heard about me before, so might as well be my introduction. I remember getting started on this project, and I remember like it was early in the summer when I kind of got the call, if you will, from Bryce, like, hey, we're doing this project, and I definitely remember it being really big, like in scope. I remember thinking this wouldn't be the biggest thing you did, Bryce, but I remember just thinking this was going to be huge, and I was excited because these are two of my favorite characters, and so obviously I was just excited on that. But I remember thinking, oh man, this is going to be cool, and we tossed around so many ideas. I don't want to pretend like I helped write the script or anything crazy, but I just remember you would ask questions or just like, hey, what do you think of this? And just we had a lot of back and forth. And I remember, just to say a little story, when you were finding the Batarang sound effect, when you found it, it was like a minute and a half long. And we came up with like this entire like end of the movie of just Batman throwing this Batarang and just it going into the distance. Like just constantly going, just because the sound wouldn't just never ended, and just it would play out.
Oh
and,
my gosh, yeah.
And Spider's like, he's not going down, just wait for it. He's not going down, wait for it. He's still not down, wait for it. Bullseye. How? And then just credits. I remember that was like a thought we had, but so if I'm being honest, it was I don't want to pretend like, oh, it was heartbroken, but I was definitely surprised on how much you shrunk it down. But I remember thinking, and we talked about that this, I don't think it I didn't realize how much people were gonna really see this as a continuation from Spider-Man 5. I didn't look at it in that way for some reason. I knew it was logically, like story-wise, but it was like it didn't feel the same, I guess. So I just didn't mentally put those together. But so to me, I remember thinking, I feel there was something lost during the shrinking down, but I understood you're not Hollywood. You're a guy who has a dream and a couple bucks in his backyard with some good friends who just agreed to act crazy in some spandex and help. So I felt it was something you could be proud of. But I definitely could see this not being someone's favorite movie out of yours. But I remember being proud of the work that you did and being proud of the work I did and thinking it wasn't awful. It was there was something good here at least. So those are kind of my thoughts on the project.
Well, I guess my final thoughts are I do know that you guys, did not think this was the best film I made, which I'm totally fine with. I mean, you guys wanted something more, and I had to oblige, mainly because you guys wouldn't get off my ass. I'm just kidding, of course, but I wanted to try this out. I really wish I actually had time to actually flesh out the script of this more. I had some major writer's block writing this movie, and it really started off good, but what I filmed was what you guys got, and I hope you can respect me enough just as a filmmaker, just to watch it every once in a while and at least say, hey, he tried, kinda.
And if you can't do that, perhaps this may satisfy you. I myself, and I kind of told Bryce this, but he may have not known this, so you may get to hear a genuine shock reaction out of Bryce. But I've been secretly working on kind of a quote unquote director's cut to this movie, and have been somewhat planning on fixing the quote unquote problems of this movie and letting Bryce see it and see what he wants to do with it. And one of those was going to involve Nick Fury and actually seeing Nick Fury, and I thought that might be a way to expand it a little bit. Mainly also so I could maybe film those scenes and not let Bryce have to, and he could then just throw them in, and maybe that might simplify the project. I don't know, but don't pretend like this is an announcement for that project or anything. It's more. It is again kind of something I wanted to do for Bryce for being so awesome and being a guy who was willing to let me join these awesome projects and really be a part of something incredible. And I just thought, why don't I take what some would consider his weakest work and try to make it his best? And I don't think that will be possible, especially with Become Something More out, which that's going to be great when you guys see it. I promise you that. But I definitely think maybe I can come up with something entertaining. But yeah, Bryce,
that's really cool. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome. Well, it's the end of the movie.
Well, I do believe we're done here.
I guess so.
So, guess we should sign out. This is me, Bryce, and Kai. I don't know if you have something to sign out with, but I always say at the end of every one of my videos, hit that subscribe button. It should be waiting for everybody. I haven't said that in a while, but hey, why not? And deuces.
Good enough for me.